Welcome to the YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub, your one-stop solution for expert guidance, best practices, and actionable knowledge in the world of contact centers. Explore, learn, and enhance contact center skills. Let's learn neural networks and deep learning forecasting in depth. Let's begin with a concept overview of neural networks and deep learning. Neural networks, often called NNS, are computational systems inspired by how the human brain works. Just like neurons in the brain connect and transmit signals, neural networks consist of interconnected nodes that learn patterns from data. What makes neural networks powerful is their ability to learn directly from large volumes of data. They uncover complex, nonlinear, and hidden relationships, patterns that traditional statistical models often struggle to capture. When neural networks are extended into multiple layers and advanced architectures, they become deep learning models. These models can understand not just simple relationships, but also temporal patterns, contextual dependencies, and multivariate interactions, all of which are common in contact center data. For example, deep learning can simultaneously learn how volume, AHT, sentiment, channel mix, and customer behavior interact over time, without explicitly defining every rule in advance. So while traditional models try to fit a line through the data, deep learning goes further. As the saying goes, deep learning doesn't just fit the line, it discovers the underlying rhythm, trend, and emotion in your data. That's what makes neural networks a powerful tool for modern, AI-driven forecasting and decision-making. Now let's understand why neural networks are so effective for forecasting, especially in contact center environments. Traditional forecasting methods, such as ARIMA, Holt-Winters, and regression, are built on an important assumption that relationships in the data are linear, stable, and predictable. But real-world contact center data rarely behave that way. Call center demand and performance are often nonlinear, non-stationary, and behaviorally dynamic, driven by multiple forces acting at the same time. For example, campaigns, outages, and seasonal events can cause sudden spikes or drops that break historical patterns. Multi-channel interactions, voice, chat, email, bots, constantly shift demand between channels rather than moving in straight lines. Customer behavior changes rapidly due to pricing, digital adoption, or service experiences. And workforce variables, such as shrinkage, concurrency, and agent tenure, interact in complex ways that traditional models struggle to isolate. Neural networks are designed for exactly this kind of complexity. They learn patterns automatically from data, without requiring analysts to predefine trend shapes, seasonal cycles, or linear relationships. Instead of forcing assumptions, neural networks observe how inputs and outputs evolve together and adapt as those relationships change. In short, neural networks don't ask the data to behave nicely. They learn from the data as it really behaves, making them especially powerful for forecasting in modern, fast-changing contact centers. Now let's understand the core working principle of a neural network. A neural network learns by passing data through layers of neurons. Each layer performs two things: weighted computations and nonlinear transformations. The idea can be represented by this simple equation: y at time t equals f of w2 multiplied by g of w1 times x at time t plus b1, then plus b2. Let's break down what each component means. X at time t represents the input features, or drivers. In a contact center, these could be called volume history, campaign activity, channel mix, shrinkage, sentiment, or customer base signals. W1 and W2 are the learned weights. Weights represent how strongly the network pays attention to each input and combination of inputs. B1 and B2 are bias terms. Biases help shift the calculation so the model can fit patterns even when inputs are zero or baseline. G is the activation function, such as ReLU or Tangha. This is what introduces nonlinearity, allowing the model to learn complex relationships that are not straight-line patterns. Finally, F is the output mapping, which converts the final layer's signal into the forecast, the predicted value of Y. And here's the learning mechanism. With each training iteration, the neural network compares its prediction to the actual outcome, calculates the error, and then adjusts weights and biases to reduce that error. So over time, the model becomes better and better at capturing the true underlying pattern, even when the pattern is nonlinear, dynamic, and multi-factor. That's the foundation of neural network learning. Inputs go forward through layers, errors come backward, and the network improves with every cycle. Now let's review the major neural network architectures used in forecasting and how each one applies to contact center use cases. First, the feed-forward neural network, or FNN. This is the most basic architecture, built with fully connected layers. It's excellent for learning nonlinear relationships between drivers and outcomes, for example, forecasting volume or AHT using inputs like campaigns, customer base, shrinkage, and channel mix. Next, the recurrent neural network, or RNN. RNNs are designed for time series because they loop over time steps and remember recent values. They're useful for short-term sequential forecasting, where yesterday's and last hour's behavior matters. Then we have LSTM, long short-term memory networks. LSTMs are a special type of RNN with memory gates that help the model retain important information over longer periods. This makes LSTMs strong for daily and weekly call volume patterns, where long-term dependencies and repeating cycles exist. A close cousin is the GRU, Gated Recurrent Unit. GRUs simplify the LSTM structure, often training faster while keeping similar accuracy. They're well-suited for real-time, short-horizon forecasting, where speed and continuous updates matter. Next is the CNN, Convolutional Neural Network. While CNNs are famous in image processing, they also work well for time series by detecting local temporal patterns, repeating sequences, and short bursts. In contact centers, CNNs can spot channel-specific spikes, like sudden chat surges or repeatable peak windows. Then we have transformers and attention-based models. These models focus attention on the most important time points instead of relying only on sequential memory. They are considered state-of-the-art for long-range forecasting, especially when multiple events and drivers influence volume across weeks or months. Finally, there are hybrid deep models. These combine architectures, such as CNN plus LSTM plus attention, to merge short-term patterns with long-term context. This is often used for enterprise-scale omnichannel forecasting, where the system must learn both immediate spikes and longer structural shifts. And the practical takeaway is this. In many enterprise forecasting environments, LSTM-based approaches and hybrid attention or transformer-style models are commonly used because they balance accuracy, memory, and the ability to handle complex real-world signals. So when choosing an architecture, match the model to your forecasting horizon. Short-term sequence, long-term dependency, event-driven forecasting, or omnichannel system behavior. Now let's walk through the step-by-step forecasting process using neural networks. Step 1 is data preparation. First, we aggregate the data at the right frequency. Depending on the use case, that could be hourly for intraday staffing, daily for operational planning, for strategic forecasting. Next, we normalize numerical variables so the model can learn efficiently. We also encode categorical fields such as day of week, channel type, campaign category, or queue name, Because neural networks require numeric inputs, we carefully handle missing values and outliers. Missing data must be imputed or flagged, and outliers should be reviewed, because one abnormal spike from an outage or a reporting issue can mislead the model. So step 1 is all about building clean, consistent inputs. Because data quality directly determines forecast quality. Step 2 is feature engineering. This is where we turn raw contact center data into predictive signals that a neural network can learn from. First, we create lag features, for example, the previous 7, 14, and 28 days of volume. These lags give the model short-term memory and help it recognize repeating patterns. Next, we add business drivers. Common inputs include marketing spend, shrinkage percentage, number of active customers, and average handle time. These drivers help the model learn cause-like relationships, not just history. Then we add seasonality indicators. Examples include month of year, week number, day of week patterns, and a holiday flag. This allows the model to learn calendar-based cycles without manually hard-coding seasonality rules. Optionally, we can include external signals. Web traffic, billing dates, weather, and other event indicators can add extra predictive power, especially when customer behavior responds to external conditions. So step 2 is about building a strong input set. Because the better your features capture real-world drivers and timing, the smarter and more stable your neural network forecast becomes. Step 3 is model design. This is where we decide how the neural network will think about the data. First, we choose the right architecture based on the forecasting problem. If time dependency is critical, we use LSTM or GRU models. If repeating seasonal patterns dominate, CNNs work well. And for complex, multi-horizon or event-driven forecasting, transformer or hybrid models are often the best choice. Next, we define the input layer. This layer receives all engineered features, including driver variables and lagged sequences such as the last 7, 14, or 28 periods. Then come the hidden layers. These layers contain neurons that perform nonlinear transformations. This is where the model learns complex interactions, such as how volume, AHT, shrinkage, and channel mix influence each other over time. Finally, we design the output layer. The output defines the forecast horizon, whether the model predicts the next day, the next week, or multiple future periods at once. So step 3 is about structure. You're not tuning numbers yet, you're designing a system that matches how demand actually behaves. A well-designed architecture is the foundation for accurate, stable, and scalable neural network forecasting. Step 4 is training and validation. At this stage, we teach the neural network how to forecast and make sure it learns the right patterns. First, we split the dataset into 3 parts. Typically, about 70% is used for training, 20% for validation, and 10% for testing. This ensures the model learns from one set of data and is evaluated on unseen data. Next, we train the model by minimizing a loss function, commonly mean squared error or mean absolute error. With each training iteration, the model compares its prediction to the actual value and adjusts its weights to reduce error. Then we apply regularization techniques to prevent overfitting. Dropout randomly disables neurons during training so the model doesn't memorize patterns. Early stopping halts training when validation performance stops improving. And learning rate decay gradually slows weight updates to stabilize learning. So step 4 ensures the model doesn't just fit the past. It learns patterns that generalize well to the future. This balance between learning and control is what makes neural network forecasts reliable in production. Step 5 is forecast generation. Once the neural network is trained and validated, we use it to produce actual forecasts. First, we input the most recent data sequences, such as the latest volume history, lagged features, and any known future drivers. These drivers might include planned campaigns, expected staffing levels, holidays, or billing cycles. The model then processes this information through its learned layers and outputs future values, predicting demand for the next day, week, or multiple periods ahead. Modern neural network systems also generate uncertainty intervals. These ranges show the expected variability around the forecast, helping planners understand best case, expected, and worst case scenarios. So step 5 turns the model from a learning engine into a decision support tool, providing both point forecasts and confidence bands that support smarter staffing, budgeting, and risk management. Step 6 is continuous learning. Neural network forecasting is not a one-time exercise, it's a living system. As new data arrives each day, we feed fresh observations into the forecasting pipeline. This keeps the model aware of the most recent trends, behavior, operational changes. The model is then retrained periodically or retrained automatically when it detects data or concept drift. Drift occurs when customer behavior, channel mix, or operational processes change in ways the original model was not trained on. Learning, the neural network stays aligned with reality, adapting to new campaigns, policy changes, digital adoption, or workforce dynamics. So step 6 ensures the forecast remains relevant, accurate, and resilient, even as the contact center environment keeps evolving. Let's look at a practical example of an LSTM forecast for inbound call volume. Here, the model is predicting daily call volume across the work week. On Monday, actual volume is 9,800 calls, and the LSTM predicts 9,750. On Tuesday, actual volume is 10,100, with a prediction of 10,050. On Wednesday, actual volume is 9,600, and the prediction is 9,590. On Thursday, actual volume is 9,200, predicted at 9,180. And on Friday, actual volume drops to 8,700, with the model predicting 8,720. Across this period, the mean absolute percentage error, or MAPE, is just 2.3%. That performance clearly outperforms traditional methods. Arima at 4.8% and Holt Winters at 5.5%. Why does the LSTM perform better? Because it learns multiple patterns at the same time. It captures the weekday effect, the gradual downward trend across the week, and the random noise present in the last 30 days of data. Instead of forcing fixed assumptions about trend or seasonality, the LSTM learns how these patterns naturally coexist. This example shows why LSTM-based forecasting is so powerful in contact centers. It adapts to real operational behavior and delivers consistently higher accuracy for short to medium-term planning. Let's now summarize the key advantages of neural network forecasting in contact center environments. First, neural networks learn nonlinear dynamics. They handle complex relationships, such as delayed campaign impact on call volume, without requiring manual lag assumptions. Second, they capture multiple cycles simultaneously. Neural networks can learn weekly, monthly, and even quarterly patterns at the same time, something traditional models struggle to do cleanly. Third, they handle multiple drivers together. Marketing activity, seasonality, agent mix, customer behavior, and even external economic signals can all be processed in a single unified model. Fourth, neural networks are self-learning. As more data becomes available, the model continues to improve, refining its understanding of patterns and interactions. Fifth, they are robust to noise. Neural networks learn to focus on underlying signals while ignoring random fluctuations and short-term volatility. Sixth, neural networks are highly scalable. They can forecast demand across hundreds of queues, skills, and channels concurrently, making them ideal for large, omni-channel contact centers. And the measurable outcome is clear. Deep learning models often improve forecast accuracy by 15 to 30% compared to traditional approaches like ARIMA or regression. That's why neural networks have become a cornerstone of modern, AI-driven forecasting strategies. Before adopting neural networks, it's important to understand their limitations and how to manage them effectively. First, neural networks are data-hungry. They require long, clean time series, typically 12 months or more, to learn reliable patterns. Without sufficient history, accuracy can suffer. Second, neural networks can behave like a black box. Unlike regression, individual weights are not easily interpretable, which can make stakeholder explanations more challenging. Third, there is a high computational cost. Training deep models often requires significant CPU or GPU resources, especially when forecasting hundreds of queues or channels. Fourth, neural networks carry an overfitting risk. If regularization techniques are not applied, the model may learn noise instead of true signal, performing well on history but poorly on future data. Fifth, deployment can be complex. Neural network forecasting requires an MLOps setup, including data pipelines, retraining schedules, monitoring, and version control. That's why mitigation is critical. Best practice is to combine neural networks with explainable AI techniques, such as SHAP-based feature importance, so leaders can see why the model is making certain predictions. Equally important is hybrid human and AI oversight, where experts validate outputs, review anomalies, and guide strategic decisions. So while neural networks are powerful, they work best when paired with transparency, governance, and human judgment. Let's look at real-world contact center applications of neural network forecasting and how they are used in practice. First, volume forecasting across channels. Neural networks predict inbound and outbound load for voice, chat, and email, broken down by time of day and day of week. This supports accurate staffing, routing, and intraday management. Second, AHT and handle time forecasting. Neural networks model process complexity, agent experience, learning curves, and seasonality together, producing more realistic handle time expectations than static averages. Third, shrinkage and absence prediction. By learning from historical attendance patterns, sentiment signals, and seasonal effects, neural networks can forecast absenteeism trends, helping WFM teams plan buffers proactively. Fourth, service-level risk prediction. Instead of reacting after a miss, neural networks identify future intervals at risk of SLA breach, allowing early interventions like overtime, reforecasting, or call deflection. Fifth, cross-channel forecasting. Neural models dynamically allocate demand between voice, chat, and self-service, reflecting how customers actually switch channels based on wait time, availability, and digital maturity. Finally, customer sentiment and demand correlation. Using NLP embeddings, neural networks link sentiment spikes, frustration, confusion, urgency, to future call surges, turning qualitative signals into quantitative forecasts. So the big picture is this. Neural networks move forecasting from simple volume prediction to behavior-aware, risk-aware, and channel-aware decision support, enabling smarter workforce, cost, and CX management. Let's now understand the role of deep learning in modern workforce management systems. Today's leading WFM platforms embed neural forecasting modules that go far beyond traditional planning. First, these systems auto-learn from multi-year historical data across multiple queues, skills, and channels. Instead of building separate models for each queue, deep learning learns shared patterns and local differences automatically. Second, they detect behavioral and structural shifts. For example, when a new campaign launches or customer response patterns change, the model identifies the shift without waiting for manual reconfiguration. Third, forecasts are recomputed hourly or even in real time. This allows WFM teams to adjust staffing, routing, and intraday actions dynamically as demand evolves. Fourth, modern platforms provide explainable outputs. They don't just give a number, they surface top contributing drivers, confidence bands, and deviation alerts when reality starts drifting from forecast. You'll see these capabilities in enterprise platforms such as NICE CXONI AI Forecasting, Verint Vinci AI, Genesys Predictive AI, and Calibrio Advanced Analytics. Under the hood, these platforms typically use hybrid deep learning ensembles, combining CNNs for short-term pattern detection, LSTMs for long-term memory, and gradient boosting models for nonlinear driver sensitivity. The result is a continuous, self-correcting forecasting engine, one that learns, adapts, explains, and improves with every new data point. In short, deep learning has transformed WFM forecasting from periodic planning into a living intelligence system that keeps pace with real-world operations. Let's review the key performance metrics used to evaluate forecasting models, especially in neural network-based WFM systems. First, MAPE, mean absolute percentage error. This measures overall forecast accuracy in percentage terms. In contact center forecasting, a MAPE below 5% is considered excellent. Next, RMSE, root mean squared error. RMSE penalizes larger deviations more heavily than small ones. Lower RMSE indicates tighter control over extreme forecast misses, which is critical for staffing and SLA protection. Then we have the R-squared score. R-squared shows the proportion of variance explained by the model. Values above 0.9 indicate a very strong fit between predicted and actual demand. Another important metric is bias percentage. Bias tells us whether the model consistently overforecasts or underforecasts. A good model should have bias close to zero, ensuring balanced decision-making. Finally, we evaluate forecast horizon accuracy. This checks how accuracy behaves as we move from short-term forecasts to longer horizons. Strong models maintain stable accuracy across multiple days or weeks, rather than degrading rapidly over time. And this is where deep learning stands out. Neural network models typically maintain consistent accuracy even across multi-week horizons, making them highly effective for both operational and strategic workforce planning. In summary, these metrics ensure forecasts are not just accurate, but stable, unbiased, and reliable across time. Let's look at the economic and strategic impact of neural network-driven forecasting in contact centers. First, precision staffing. More accurate forecasts directly reduce overstaffing and understaffing, which translates into significant cost optimization without compromising service levels. Second, dynamic service level management. Neural network forecasts provide early warning signals for upcoming peak periods, allowing leaders to take proactive actions such as overtime, call deflection, or schedule adjustments before SL breaches occur. Third, data-driven budgeting. By aligning workforce cost with predicted volume and average handle time, organizations move from static budgets to living financial plans that adapt to demand. Fourth, automation ROI tracking. Neural models help correlate AI deflection, self-service adoption, or bot containment with actual volume reduction, making automation ROI measurable, not assumed. Fifth, client confidence and credibility. Transparent, science-backed forecasts increase trust with clients and stakeholders because decisions are grounded in data, not gut feel. And the financial impact is real. In a mid-sized contact center, every 1% improvement in forecast accuracy can deliver 5 to 10 lakhs of monthly savings through better staffing, reduced overtime, and SLA protection. So the takeaway is clear. Neural network forecasting doesn't just improve predictions. It delivers measurable economic value and strategic advantage. Now let's understand hybrid forecasting, where neural networks are combined with traditional models to get the best of both worlds. The first approach is ARIMA plus LSTM. Here, ARIMA handles the linear structure and baseline patterns, such as trend and seasonality, while the LSTM models the remaining residuals, capturing nonlinear behavior and sudden shifts. This combination works well when data has both predictable structure and complex dynamics. The second approach is Prophet plus neural networks. Prophet is used to model stable trends, holidays, and seasonality in an explainable way. A neural network then refines the forecast by learning subtle interactions, anomalies, and behavioral effects. The result is a model that is both stable and interpretable, yet more accurate than Prophet alone. The third approach is ensemble stacking. In this setup, forecasts from multiple models, ARIMA, Prophet, gradient boosting, LSTM, and others, are blended together. The ensemble learns how much weight to assign to each model under different conditions. This typically delivers the highest accuracy and lowest variance, especially in large, complex environments. So the key takeaway is this. Hybrid forecasting merges interpretability with predictive power. Traditional models provide structure and trust. Neural networks add adaptability and depth. Together, they form the backbone of modern AI-driven WFM forecasting systems, delivering accuracy that neither approach can achieve alone. Now let's talk about explainable AI, or XAI, in forecasting, and why it's essential for modern WFM. One of the biggest challenges with deep learning models is the black box perception. They may be accurate, but leaders still ask, why did the forecast change? What drove the prediction? XAI helps solve this by turning complex models into interpretable insights. First, we use feature importance techniques, such as SHAP and LINE. These methods quantify how much each driver contributed to a specific forecast. For example, they can show that a forecast increase was mainly driven by campaign volume, reduced shrinkage, or higher web traffic. Second, for transformer models, we use attention visualization. Attention maps highlight which time windows or historical intervals most influence the prediction. This helps explain whether the model relied on recent behavior, last week's pattern, or an event from a similar period in the past. Third, we implement error attribution dashboards. These dashboards isolate the likely cause of forecast deviation, such as a holiday shift, a new product launch, an outage, or a sudden demand spike. Instead of saying, the forecast missed, we explain what changed and why. The key takeaway is this. XAI enables trustworthy AI forecasting. And in contact centers, trust is not optional, it's vital for client transparency, governance, audit readiness, and confident decision-making. So XAI turns forecasting from a black box into a decision system you can explain, defend, and improve. Let's wrap up with the key takeaways on neural networks and deep learning for forecasting. First, the definition. Neural and deep learning forecasting uses multi-layer neural architectures to model complex, nonlinear, and time-based patterns that traditional models often miss. Second, the key model families. These include feed-forward networks, RNNs, LSTMs, GRUs, CNNs, transformer models, and hybrid AI architectures, each suited for different forecasting horizons and complexities. Third, the advantages. Deep learning is adaptive, multi-factor, self-learning, and often delivers higher accuracy, especially when patterns change quickly across channels, campaigns, and customer behavior. Fourth, the limitations. These models are data-hungry, resource-intensive, and typically less interpretable without explainability layers. Fifth, the role of AI in production. Modern systems continuously learn from new data, explain driver impact through XAI, and integrate directly into WFM automation, enabling real-time reforecasting and proactive staffing adjustments. Finally, the outcome. Deep learning enables hyper-accurate, self-correcting forecasts that balance workforce, cost, and customer experience, turning forecasting into a true decision advantage. And here's the closing thought. Deep learning forecasting gives your contact center a living brain, one that sees patterns, learns from experience, and predicts tomorrow's reality before it arrives. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. See you in the next video.